Topic 1. 23andMe files for bankruptcy, raising concerns about the security of customers' genetic data. 23andMe has filed for bankruptcy protection due to concerns over the security of customer genetic data and difficulties in finding a sustainable business model. A data breach in 2023 exposed the information of approximately 7 million customers, severely damaging the company's reputation. As a result, the company laid off 200 employees and halted all treatment development. CEO Ann Wojcicki resigned after several failed acquisition attempts, and the company plans to proceed with a sale through bankruptcy proceedings. The California Attorney General has advised consumers to delete their genetic data, while the company stated that there would be no changes in how data is stored and protected. 23andMe will continue to operate during the bankruptcy process and has promised to maintain the security and transparency of customer data. Topic 2. South Korea's Han Duck-soo reinstated as acting president following court decision overturning impeachment. Han Duck-soo has returned as acting president of South Korea after the Constitutional Court overturned his impeachment. He will take over the acting presidency from Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok. Han was impeached by the opposition Democratic Party, but 5 out of 8 judges ruled against the impeachment. The South Korean presidential office welcomed Han's return, stating that the ruling proves the National Assembly abused its power to impeach officials. This ruling comes ahead of an appeals court decision regarding opposition leader Lee Jae-myung's election law violations, which could result in him losing his parliamentary seat and eligibility for the next presidential election if found guilty. The ruling on President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment is still pending, with the Constitutional Court required to deliver a verdict within 180 days from December 14th. President Yoon briefly declared martial law on December 3rd before retracting it, after which the impeachment motion passed in the National Assembly. If the impeachment is upheld, South Korea must hold a presidential election within 60 days. If dismissed, President Yoon will return to office. Topic 3. Potential meeting between Trump and China's President Xi Jinping suggests efforts to improve bilateral ties. The possibility of a meeting between former U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping is increasing. Senator Steve Daines, a strong supporter of Trump, has stated that he is laying the groundwork for a meeting between the two leaders during his visit to Beijing. Daines attended a Chinese development forum and met with the Chinese premier. While he did not disclose when or where the meeting would take place, he described it as the first step toward a summit. Trump has promised flexibility in tariff negotiations with China and emphasized a good relationship with Xi. Daines discussed opportunities for U.S.-based companies in China during his meeting with the premier, highlighting cooperation between the two countries. China has argued that cooperation with the U.S. can benefit both nations and has called for collaboration to avoid a trade war. Daines' visit is seen as an opportunity to facilitate dialogue and negotiations between the two countries. Topic 4. Heathrow Airport's closure sparks debate over accountability. Heathrow Airport in the UK experienced an 18-hour shutdown, resulting in airlines incurring millions of pounds in losses and thousands of passengers stranded. This incident raised questions about how critical infrastructure in the UK can fail. Heathrow defended the shutdown, stating it had to restructure its systems and switch to an alternative substation due to a fire at a nearby substation. However, the CEO of National Grid claimed that the power grid could have supplied power to the airport, asserting that 2 other substations were always available. In response to the incident, both the government and Heathrow have initiated reviews, with the Transport Secretary emphasizing